Our first group of guests have made statewide and national news for standing up for the rights of women on the University of Wyoming campus. Madeline Ramar, Allison Coggin, and Hannah Holtmeyer are three plaintiffs in the groundbreaking lawsuit against the biological male that invaded their sorority. Madeline is a nursing and finance student at the University of Wyoming, graduating in 2026, and is still an active member of the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority. Allison graduated from UW in 2023 with a degree in agricultural business. She was a senior when a male joined their sorority. Hannah was a sophomore at UW when the lawsuit was filed. After that year, she transferred to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. All three of these young women and their attorney, Cassie Craven, are involved in the fight to protect women's spaces. Cassie Craven, former prosecutor, is now a civil litigator and criminal defense attorney. She's a tireless advocate for common sense, and we're happy to have her here with us today. Please welcome these courageous women.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today, and I'm going to briefly introduce some of the wonderful people we have with us. As you can tell, we don't just have these three young women in beautiful cowboy hats because they got to come back to Wyoming and want to celebrate in their cowboy hats. We also have a wonderful group of older women who are alumni of Kappa. They're not too old. They're young for the most part. But they are older than our college girls because they are alumni. And Kappa has held a special place in their heart, and I want to start by welcoming them too and giving them a huge thanks for all the support that they've provided all of us through this year. And I also want to introduce my co-counsel, who is one of the most brilliant, strategic, genius, honorable men I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and that is Mr. John Nepper. And we need to acknowledge him. He gets no credit. I don't give you credit. And at the end of this, I'll ask him to make a quick closing remark for us when the girls are done. But just briefly, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you to the women that stand beside us. Thank you to the men that stand in front of us and behind us to protect us, because that's what this is about. And it's really, really rewarding today for us. You know, we've been sued and censured and beat down and yelled at and called homophobes and transphobes and dirtbags, and you know, it's a long road, but it's one that's so important to us. So I want the girls to convey that, and so I'm going to turn it over first to Miss Hannah Holtmeyer.
Hello everyone, like Cassie said, I'm Hannah. I'm a current senior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And in the fall of 2022, my sisters and I were forced into a situation that I can confidently say none of us wanted to be in. Since then, we've been working hard to share our story and help women in similar situations across the country. I want to thank everyone who's worked to get these bills to where they are today. I never thought I'd be thanking anyone for defining what a woman is or saying that it's wrong that there are men in women's sports and spaces. Words can't describe how thankful we are for the courage and passion you've put into creating these bills. These bills won't just define what a woman is, they'll actively protect women and generations of women to come. As women who had to share a sorority house with a man, we can tell you how mentally draining it is to worry that you'll step out of the shower and see that you're sharing a bathroom with a grown man. Like sports, women join sororities to better themselves throughout their college years. But that hope of finding a close group of like-minded women diminishes when a man intrudes. When men enter into women's spaces, they take positions and memberships from very deserving women. It's time that states step up and protect the girls and women of their state.
and I'm so glad that Wyoming is doing just that. Thank you. Hi, my name is Madeline Raymar, and I would like to start by thanking you all for your time and effort in writing these bills. In a world of confusion and uncertainty for women, your commitment to this issue won't go unappreciated. I've seen the negative effects of men and women's spaces firsthand. When a man who identified as a woman joined our sorority in the fall of 2022, it completely destroyed the women's only space we were promised. It shattered our expectations of safety and privacy, and it destroyed the entire premise of what a sorority is supposed to be. What the women in my sorority had to endure is something that no woman should ever have to experience. We were forced into sharing our intimate spaces with a man, always in fear of running into this person in various states of undress and locking our doors at night to ensure our safety. When we spoke up about our concerns, we were called transphobic and bullied by our own leadership. We felt betrayed by these very same people that promised us an only women's space. It did nothing to protect us. Not only is this happening in sororities, but this is happening in all women's spaces, locker rooms, restrooms, and sports. The definition of a woman should not have to be a political issue. It's just basic human biology. Being inclusive can seem like a good idea from the outside, but when your inclusivity actually excludes women, that's a problem. As elected officials in the state, we put our trust in you to protect everyone, including us women. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Allison Kogan. It's very difficult to compress everything I want to say in such a short amount of time. However, I'm so thankful and proud to stand here today supporting these bills. I have experienced firsthand what happens when a male is forced into a women's only space. As I'm sure you can imagine, it is incredibly uncomfortable to say the least, especially in a space as intimate as a sorority's house. The main appeal of living in a sorority house is that it is a women's only space and provides protection not only for our well-being, but also for us to foster the foundation of many professional skills in a safe environment. These bills will not only help protect me and my sorority sisters behind me, but every single woman. A woman should never have to fear using a public restroom. Young girls should never have to fear competing in sports. If women are ever going to be respected or successful in the world, they need these safe spaces to build that foundation. No woman, especially a sexual assault survivor, should ever have to explain why it makes us uncomfortable to undress in front of a male. It is not our job to push aside our feelings to preserve a male's fragile ego and allow him to parade around as a woman. It's insulting and wrong. Do what you want in your own home, but do not enter mine and expect me to play along. I'm embarrassed to say that the government has allowed it to come to this point, but I strongly believe that these bills are the first step in the right direction, and I can't wait to watch other states follow suit. Thank you.
Thank you all. I can't tell you how proud I am to have watched these young women grow throughout this experience. I know it's been taxing for them, but to watch them become the powerful advocates that they are now has been a joy to, as somebody sort of watching from the sideline. And thank you again for coming out here. I think the only thing I would add is that this is a woman's rights issue, and if the best way to think of it is this way: when women could not announce that they were men and vote before the state of Wyoming ensured that women could have the right to vote. Being a woman is not a state of mind. It is a lived experience that women endure and enjoy every day. There are many places in our society where, male or female, you should have the same opportunities: work, job, voting, jury service, all the things that women have had to fight for generations, and that are largely now guaranteed by law. But we have also always noted that there are some spaces that need to be available to women for their safety or for their opportunities, such as sports. And it should be up to the women to decide whether they want to create a co-ed experience. It should not be left to the decision of a man who decides that he wants those opportunities and that he deserves those opportunities because of his belief of his own self. Being a woman is not a costume. And so I hope that you, as this debate goes forward, and there's going to be a lot of, having experienced this debate in other locations, there can be a lot of ugliness. But the things that I want you to understand in the public, and I'm grateful for the legislature here, is that everyone involved in this is a citizen of Wyoming and deserves love and respect. But we should not mislead ourselves into thinking that reality is a subjective opinion. These women are entitled to their spaces and their opportunities, and men should not be allowed to take them simply because they want them and believe they should have them also. So I'm very grateful for everyone and what you all are doing here. I'm extremely grateful for these young women and my co-counsel Cassie. And if you can see some of them behind them, these young women were lucky enough to join an organization which has sisters of all generations and has supported them, unfailingly for years now, and we're just incredibly grateful for all the support they've had. And I think we're getting to the point now as a society where we are acknowledging that that we should not roll back women's rights. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies, very much. Next, we will hear from ESG expert Will Hild. Will Hild is the executive director